Today we're diving into a really dark, really fascinating philosophical tale. It's all about a lone wanderer who finds himself at a major crossroads. He's facing this impossible choice between two totally opposite ways of confronting existence itself. One is all about surrender and the other is about struggle. It's a heavy story, full of fear, judgment, and ultimately a powerful act of defiance.
Okay, this quote right here, it perfectly sets the stage for our story's first location, the Abbey of Safety. You gotta understand, in this place, time isn't just a way to measure the day. It's a weapon. It's a cage. This is not a peaceful little town. It's an entire society built on a foundation of deep existential dread.
The whole point of the Abbey, the reason for its existence, is to give its people one single purpose: to avoid looking into the void. You know, that great, terrifying nothingness of existence. And how do they do it? Their main tool is the careful, relentless, second-by-second measurement of time.
And the tools of this fear are everywhere, both big and small. You've got the huge, imposing ebony clock tower, this grand symbol of societal control. And then you have the tiny, personal silver watch in your pocket. But here's the thing, they both do the exact same job. They trap people in this predictable, moment-to-moment reality, so they never have a second to think about what might lie beyond it all. It's basically a collective distraction.
And this brings us to the perfect term for this place, the gilded cage. The people here are safe, sure, but it's the safety of a prison cell they built for themselves. They go through all these precise daily rituals, all measured by the ticking clock, thinking it's keeping them secure. But in reality, their spirits are just decaying because they've traded a real, authentic life for a flimsy illusion of safety.
Well, into this stagnant, perfectly ordered world of fear comes something else, a disruptive, absolutely terrifying force. The arrival of the Red Spectre and the Wild Hunt is the event that's about to tear this whole gilded cage apart.
Now, the Wild Hunt isn't just some monster. It's described as a cosmic force, almost like a form of divine correction thundering across the sky. And it's led by the Red Spectre. Its whole purpose is to hunt down what it sees as lost souls, basically any individual who has separated themselves from the great primordial whole.
So to get what the Spectre is all about, you have to understand his philosophy, which is called the logic of zero. From his point of view, our individual consciousness, our sense of I, isn't a gift, it's a mistake. It's a fractured mirror creating a kind of static disturbance in the universe. So his goal isn't just pure evil destruction. In his mind, it's restoration. He wants to gather up all the broken pieces and return them to the silent, unified peace of non-being.
And so the hunt gets to work. But this isn't just random chaos and destruction. No, it's a systematic process of dismantlement. It's a surgical strike on the very symbols of the Abbey's fear-based society.
So what's the first thing the Spectre's fire goes after? The clocks and the watches, of course. By shattering these instruments of time, he's shattering the entire illusion they were propping up. He's revealing them as just masks, hiding what he calls the original catastrophe. That moment consciousness decided it was separate and individual. He's stripping away all the artifice to expose the raw, terrifying reality underneath.
Now, after all that destruction, with the cage of time completely broken, the terrified people of the Abbey aren't just wiped out. No, instead, the Red Spectre offers them something he considers a mercy, a gift.
He offers them what's called the Crimson Gift. And what is it exactly? It's permission. It's the final permission to just let go, to stop struggling against the constant pull of the void. It's framed as a release from all the pain and tension of being alive, a peaceful slide into an eclipse of identity where the self just isn't a problem anymore.
And in the logic of zero, this surrender isn't seen as a failure. It's a homecoming. It's the ultimate peace for souls who are just exhausted by the fight of being an individual. Honestly, it's a pretty tempting offer.
But just when it seems like everyone is ready to accept this gift, one person stands up in defiance, the Wanderer. As everyone else is considering the sweet peace of the abyss, he makes a totally different choice. He refuses the gift.
The Wanderer isn't looking at the broken clock. He stands before a completely different symbol of time, the hourglass of eternal becoming. See, unlike the clock, which just measures a straight line towards decay and death, the hourglass is a cycle. It represents repetition, and, most importantly, it represents the choice to turn the glass over and live through it all again.
And this right here is the core of the Wanderer's philosophy, the logic of one. It is a defiant, almost violent and beautiful yes to his own life, with all of its pain, all of its struggles.
He chooses to accept the burden of repetition, to relive his entire existence, exactly as it was, for all eternity, rather than take the easy way out into the peaceful void.
And so here we have it, the two paths laid bare. On one side, you've got the logic of zero, surrender, peace, erasure, a return to unity. And on the other, the logic of one, affirmation, the heavy burden of repetition, and the agonizing, constant tension of eternally becoming who you are.
So this brings the dilemma right to our doorstep, doesn't it? Which of these is the real act of grace? Is it the mercy of a peaceful final end, or is it the dignity you find by choosing to endure an eternal, agonizing struggle?
The wanderer's choice. It doesn't just save him. It fundamentally changes the very nature of his reality, and it creates this incredible contrast to the fate of all those who accepted the specter's so-called gift.
So, what was the final outcome? Well, the many, they accepted the gift. They achieved that eclipse of identity and returned to the deep. But the wanderer, he did something amazing. He took that fire of dismantlement, the very thing meant to destroy him, and he transformed it. He became a light that generates its own source, finding his ultimate dignity right there, in the heart of that agonizing tension.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful idea. By choosing to affirm his own existence, his own story, warts and all, the wanderer proves something. He proves that the act of choosing to become, of choosing to grow, is in itself the ultimate act of defiance against absolute nothingness. It suggests that real meaning isn't found in peace or surrender, but in the willful, powerful act of living, no matter what it costs.